My friends, I want you to hear me today, not just with your ears, but with your spirit, because what I am about to say is not a casual word. This is a divine word, a sacred call, a holy announcement, sent straight from the throne of the Almighty. God is not done with you. God has not forgotten you. God is not ignoring your prayers. What looks like delay is divine preparation. What feels like silence is sacred strategy. God is about to shock you. Not with pain, not with trouble, not with more of the same, but with favor so heavy, so overwhelming, so undeniable that it will bring tears to your eyes and trembling to your knees. You're not just going to be blessed, you're going to be stunned. Because when God moves, He doesn't move small. When God opens a door, it doesn't creak. It swings wide. When God lifts you, He does it in a way that no man can take credit for. And when God pours out favor, it comes pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That's what's coming for you, not because of who you are, but because of who God is. God is faithful, God is merciful, God is powerful, and when He decides to favor someone, no devil in hell, no force on earth, and no mistake of your past can stop it. There is someone listening right now who has cried in secret for far too long. You've carried burdens in silence. You've been overlooked, underestimated, and ignored. But God saw you, God heard you, God watched you remain faithful when you could have given up. You kept trusting when it made no sense. You kept sowing when you had nothing left. And now God is saying, I am about to shock you with favor. Not just any favor. Divine, supernatural, life-altering favor. The kind of favor that flips the script in a single moment. The kind that takes you from the back to the front, from last to first, from rejected to celebrated. The kind of favor that turns your mourning into dancing. You see, favor is not luck. Favor is not a coincidence. Favor is the deliberate hand of God choosing to highlight you, to lift you, to open doors for you that no man can shut. And when it's your season for favor, you don't have to manipulate, you don't have to strive, you don't have to force. It flows. God makes a way where there was no way. God makes people say yes who were ready to say no. God makes things fall into place that were falling apart. And the amazing thing is, God does it in a way that leaves no doubt. It won't be subtle. It won't be quiet. It won't be average. It will be shocking. People will look at you and say, how did that happen? They'll wonder, how did you go from forgotten to favored? And all you'll be able to say is, God did it. Because the kind of favor that's coming will be so unexpected, so extravagant, so unmatched that no explanation will make sense except one. God. This is not a motivational cliche. This is not just another feel-good message. This is a prophetic reality for those who dare to believe that God can do the impossible. For those who refuse to settle. For those who are tired of just surviving and ready to see the glory of God unfold in their life. But hear me clearly, favor doesn't always show up the way you expect. Sometimes favor walks in dressed as rejection. Sometimes it looks like delay. Sometimes it feels like loss. But don't be fooled. Don't be discouraged. What looks like a closed door is often the wind-up for a better one. What feels like an ending is often the setup for an elevation. God hides favor in unusual places. He hides it in disappointment to test your faith. He hides it in hardship to grow your strength. He hides it in patience to increase your reward. But when it's time for God to reveal His favor, it comes suddenly, it comes unexpectedly, it comes with such clarity and conviction that your spirit will leap inside you. You'll know this is not man's doing. You'll know this is not your skill, not your resume, not your connections. This is the favor of God. And once you receive it, everything changes, not just your situation, but your identity, your confidence, your perspective. You begin to walk with a new strength, not from arrogance, but from assurance. The assurance that if God is for you, nothing can stand against you. God is about to put your name in rooms where your feet have never been. He's about to put your work in front of eyes you've never met. He's about to honor you publicly for what you endured privately. But you must stay positioned, you must stay faithful, you must stay expectant, because favor flows to those who are prepared. Favor is attracted to faith. God does not bless empty hope. He blesses confident trust. So don't shrink back now. Don't doubt now. Don't disqualify yourself with small thinking or past mistakes. God doesn't consult your history before declaring your destiny. What He has spoken over your life still stands. Someone needs to hear this. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not cursed. You are not abandoned. You are chosen. You are protected. You are marked for favor. And no matter how long it's been, no matter how dark it's looked, no matter how hard it's felt, your story is not over. God is just getting started. The wind is about to shift. The tide is about to turn. The doors are about to open. And when they do, it won't be just a blessing. It will be a shock, a holy shock, a divine interruption, a sudden explosion of favor. You're going to wake up and find that what was hard has become easy. What was missing has been provided. What was delayed has been released, not gradually but suddenly, not barely but abundantly. Because when God decides to favor you, He doesn't trickle it, He floods it. You won't be able to explain it. You won't even be able to understand it fully, but you'll feel it, you'll see it, you'll walk in it. Because it will surround you like a shield. It will go before you, behind you, and beside you. And those who tried to harm you will have no choice but to watch God honor you. This is not the time to quit. This is not the time to doubt. This is the time to praise God in advance, to prepare like the answer is on its way, to celebrate like the doors are already open, because they are. In the realm of God, it is already done. The favor is already written into your story. The breakthrough is already scripted in your future. God is simply waiting for the right moment to reveal it, and when He does, it won't be partial, it will be total. It won't be small, it will be mighty. It won't just change your life, it will change generations. Your obedience has not gone unnoticed. Your integrity has not been in vain. Your tears have not been wasted. God has collected every one. God has remembered every act of faith. And now He's preparing a table for you, not in private, but in the presence of those who doubted you, rejected you, and mocked you. This is the season of divine reversal, where the lowly are lifted, where the last become first, where the hidden are revealed. And when God favors you, He silences every enemy without you having to say a word. You won't need to defend yourself. You won't need to beg for a seat at the table. God is building you your own. You won't need to knock down doors. God is creating entrances no man can block. You won't need to strive. God is about to make it happen with His own hand. And when He does, there will be awe, there will be amazement. People will say, that could only be God, and they'll be right. Because this kind of favor cannot be manufactured, it can only be received. So lift your head, strengthen your heart, wipe your tears. The wait is almost over. The shift is here. The signal from heaven has already been given. You are about to walk into something you didn't earn, you didn't expect, and you can't even fully imagine. God is about to shock you with favor, not because of your performance, but because of His power. Not because you deserve it, but because He delights in showing mercy. Get ready. Favor is chasing you. Favor is finding you. Favor is falling on you like rain. Heavy, undeniable, supernatural favor. You won't have room to contain it. You won't have words to explain it. All you'll be able to say is, this is God's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes. Stay faithful, stay obedient, stay available, because what God is about to do for you will shock even you. And when it comes, when the breakthrough breaks through, when the favor falls like fire, when the doors burst wide open, don't forget where it came from. Don't forget who kept you, who carried you, who covered you. It was God. It has always been God. It will always be God. Hear this now with all the weight your soul can carry. God is not limited by what limits you. God is not confined by your resources, your surroundings, or your status. What binds man has never bound God. What frustrates you cannot frustrate Him. And the moment God decides to move in your favor, every limitation bows. Time submits, circumstances shift, human opinions collapse under the authority of God's plan. When God steps in, there is no contest, no opposition can stand, no strategy formed against you can prosper, because when favor is from God, It carries divine weight. It carries holy momentum. It carries unstoppable power. There is favor coming that will not fit into your old life. God is not blessing who you were. He is favoring who He has destined you to become. That's why some connections had to end. That's why certain opportunities dried up. That's why you had to be pruned. Because the new level of favor God is bringing requires a different version of you. One that has been through the fire, one that has been trained by struggle, one that has learned to trust God when everything else was shaking. God has not given you surface favor. He has given you refined favor. Favor that has been forged through trials, purified through perseverance, and secured by unwavering faith. You've been asking God for answers, but what He's about to give you is not just information, it's transformation. This is not a moment of insight, it's a moment of invasion, where God invades your space, your situation, your destiny, and shifts it all in your favor. This favor will unlock places you thought were locked for good. It will reach places you didn't even think to ask for. It will show up in people you never imagined would help you. And it will come not because you forced it, but because God whispered it into existence. Favor is not loud, it is effective. Favor does not compete, it conquers quietly. It bypasses the systems of men and flows through the will of God. And when it lands on you, things begin to happen fast. Decisions are made quickly, delays are removed suddenly, the resources come freely. What was difficult becomes effortless, not because it stopped being hard, but because God started helping. That's favor. Divine assistance in impossible places. Unexpected acceleration when others are stuck. And here is the secret. Favor flows to those who are aligned with God's will, not just God's blessings. If your heart is right, if your motives are clean, if your desire is not to be seen but to serve, then get ready. God is about to endorse you in ways no person can deny. He's about to speak your name into places you've never entered. Your obedience has been noted, your integrity has been weighed, and the verdict from heaven has been rendered. Favor is being released, not temporary favor, not conditional favor, everlasting, undeniable, purpose-driven favor. There are people who have counted you out, written you off, dismissed you, but God has kept you hidden for a reason, because when you're hidden by God, you're being developed, not denied. And now, the season of hiddenness is giving way to the season of revelation. God is about to reveal what He's been building in you. He's about to show the fruit of the seeds you planted in the dark, the reward for the prayers you prayed in silence, harvest from the ground soaked with your tears. God is not only bringing favor to your life, He's using your life to be a vessel of favor for others. The blessing He is about to pour out is not just for you to consume, it is for you to distribute. When God favors a person, He makes him a fountain, not a reservoir. So prepare to be generous, prepare to be a deliverer, prepare to be a carrier of God's abundance, because what is coming will be too much for just one person. It will overflow. It will pour into your household, your relationships, your children, your community. God is positioning you to be a source of provision, a light in darkness, a pillar for others to lean on. And don't make the mistake of thinking this favor is random. It is precise. God does not operate on chance. He operates by purpose. If He is favoring you, it's because He has found you faithful with little, and now He is trusting you with much. And when God trusts you, He doesn't just give you more, He surrounds you with divine protection. Because favor will attract attention. Favor will trigger jealousy. Favor will stir opposition. But fear not. What God gives, He guards. He will cover you as He elevates you. He will shield you while He promotes you. Favor does not exempt you from the battle, but it guarantees the victory. It means you may still face struggle, but you will overcome. You may still walk through fire, but you will not be burned. You may still hear the whispers of doubt, but they will not shake your resolve. Because when God favors you, He also fortifies you. He strengthens your spirit, He equips your hands for the climb, and He fills your heart with a peace that no storm can take away. So let your posture change. Lift your head higher. Walk with purpose. Speak with clarity. Expect with boldness. This is not the time to shrink. This is the time to stand, not in pride, but in the confidence that comes from knowing God is on your side, that His hand is on your life, that His plan is in motion, that His favor is about to overtake you in ways you didn't see coming. Every delay was divine, every detour was strategic, every hardship was training, and now the season has shifted. The signs are already visible. The confirmation is already echoing in your soul. You can feel it. The pressure has been intense because the promise is massive. The warfare has been heavy because the favor is historic. But don't give in. Don't give up. Don't let go, because God is closer than you think, and the release is nearer than it seems. Even now, the favor is moving toward you like a wave, picking up speed, gaining strength. And when it crashes into your life, nothing will look the same again. Not your finances, not your health, not your relationships, not your future. Everything will be touched by God's hand. Everything will be marked by God's favor. And it will not come through striving. It will not come through scheming. It will come through surrender to God's timing, surrender to God's leading, surrender to the truth that He knows what's best and when it's best. Favor is not just about open doors. It's about divine alignment. It's about stepping into the place that was always yours, but was hidden for a time. It's about being in the right position at the right moment for the right reason. And when you are aligned with God, doors will open on their own. Opportunities will find you. The right people will come. The wrong ones will leave. Because when God favors you, everything around you begins to reflect His will. So rise up in faith, pray with new power, declare with new authority, worship with new fire, because this is not an ordinary season. This is a season of divine shocks, where God proves His promises, not just with words, but with wonders, where He fulfills what He whispered in your spirit, where He brings into the physical what you've only seen in the spiritual. And it will not take long. It will not be subtle. It will be sudden. You will not have to chase it. Favor will chase you. You will not have to beg for it. Favor is already assigned to you. You will not have to force it. Favor flows naturally when your heart is surrendered to God. You've been waiting, but now favor is waiting on you, waiting for you to believe, waiting for you to prepare, waiting for you to receive what God has been holding for the right time. This is that time. This is that moment. This is that shift. Get ready. God is about to shock you with favor that shakes the very foundations of your life. Favor that rewrites your story. Favor that restores what was stolen. Favor that establishes you where you were once broken. Favor that multiplies what you thought was finished. And all of it, every ounce, every miracle, every breakthrough will declare one thing and one thing only. This was the doing of God. Holy, mighty, merciful God. There is something divine about the way God works in silence. When everything around you seems still, when your prayers echo back without answers, when your labor looks unnoticed and unrewarded. That is not the absence of God, it is the strategy of God, for in the stillness God is building something greater than your eyes can see. In the quiet, God is preparing a favor that speaks louder than any announcement. When God moves, He doesn't always warn you. He doesn't always explain. He doesn't need permission, and He doesn't require consensus. When it's time, He simply acts. And when God acts, the earth responds. Situations rearrange, people shift, obstacles evaporate, and all of it points back to His sovereignty. Favor is not always about promotion. It is often about preservation. Before God elevates, He protects. Before He exalts, He shelters. And there are some blessings that didn't look like blessings at first. There are some closed doors you cried over that were actually God's mercy. There were people who walked away, and you called it rejection, but God called it redirection. If they had stayed, they would have sabotaged the next season. If that opportunity had opened too soon, it would have overwhelmed you. So God, in His wisdom, withheld not to punish, but to preserve. And that too is favor. The unseen shield, the silent rescue, the divine delay that was actually a setup for a greater unveiling, because when God is about to shock you with favor, He starts by positioning you. He moves you out of familiar territory. He unsettles what you once relied on. He strips you of false security, not to harm you, but to teach you that favor comes from Him alone. God does not share His glory. He will not let you give credit to a job, a connection, or a circumstance. When His favor comes, you will know it was only God. Not your effort, not your charm, not your wisdom. It was the invisible hand of the Almighty placing you exactly where He designed you to be. Some of you have been walking through long seasons of barrenness, not just in your finances, but in your spirit. You've been praying, fasting, striving, and yet the door stayed closed. But what you didn't realize is that God was not denying you. He was preparing you, because favor without maturity is a curse. Blessing without wisdom is a burden. So God had to take you through the process. He had to strengthen your discernment. He had to toughen your skin. He had to deepen your roots, so when the favor arrives, and it will, you won't crumble under the weight. You'll stand firm, unshaken, unmoved, because you'll know this didn't come from man, it came from God. This is why your obedience matters more than ever, because favor is drawn to obedience like a flame is drawn to the wind. It spreads, it multiplies, it intensifies. When you obey God in secret, He favors you in public. When you choose integrity over convenience, when you choose faith over fear, when you choose patience over panic, God sees it all. And He does not forget. He remembers every quiet yes, every sacrifice no one else applauded, every prayer whispered through trembling lips, every tear that fell when you chose righteousness instead of revenge. All of it has been gathered, all of it has been recorded. And the time is near where God will reward you openly for what you did faithfully in the shadows. And hear me now, the favor of God will come in unexpected ways. You may think it will show up in wealth, but it may show up in wisdom. You may expect it in status, but it may arrive as peace. You may hope for it in recognition, but it may come as protection. However it appears, trust this, when it is from God, it will satisfy your soul in ways the world never could. Because God doesn't bless you to inflate your ego. He blesses you to align you with purpose. His favor is not just about comfort, it is about calling. It's not just about elevation, it is about mission. And when God favors you, your life becomes a message. You become a living example of what it looks like when God decides to showcase His power through an ordinary vessel. And others will look at you and know, it wasn't your degree, your family name, or your bank account. It was God. They will see the divine fingerprints all over your story, and even your enemies will have to admit, this is something higher, something greater, something no human hand could have orchestrated. So don't be surprised when the ship begins. Don't be startled when things start happening quickly. Favor moves fast. And when the moment of release arrives, there will be no more delays. What you once struggled to access will begin to flow freely. What you chased will begin to chase you. What you feared losing will be multiplied back to you. And not because you demanded it, but because you surrendered to the one who governs the seasons. God is about to flip the script of your life. The same hands that struggled will now build. The same heart that broke will now bless. The same place where you were mocked will become the ground where God honors you. And those who thought your story was over will watch as God writes a brand new chapter in bold, undeniable favor. Favor that silences critics, favor that cancels debts, favor that restores everything you lost and then some. And the most beautiful part, you won't owe anyone but God. No man will be able to say, I made them. Only God will receive the glory, because only God could have done what is about to happen in your life. Even now things are shifting. Even now doors are creaking open. Even now the ground is trembling with the weight of what's coming. You may not see it fully, but your spirit feels it. The stirring, the pull, the confirmation. Something is near, something is holy, something is heavenly. This is not your imagination, this is divine timing. The season is turning, the favor is forming, and what God is about to do will exceed even the deepest cries of your heart. Stay humble, stay grounded, stay pure, because favor without character is dangerous. And God is not just blessing your hands, He's shaping your heart. You are not being favored just to enjoy the blessing, but to become a blessing. You will become a vessel of healing, a carrier of peace, a voice of hope. and you will not need to strive for platforms. God will bring the right people to you, the right doors to you, the right assignments to you, all because you kept your eyes on Him when others looked away. Let your soul prepare, let your faith arise, let your lips praise God in advance, because the time of hiding is over. The time of favor is now, and the world will see that the God who forms galaxies also cares about your story. The God who parts seas also opens paths for the faithful. The God who moves mountains also moves in the lives of those who trust Him deeply. Favor is not a fantasy, it is a real, powerful, undeniable outpouring of God's goodness. And it is coming for those who have walked in truth, waited in faith, and worshiped in the wilderness. Your time is near. The shift is real, the favor is coming. And it will not be quiet, it will be loud, it will be sudden, it will be unmistakable. Because when God favors a soul, heaven responds. And when heaven responds, the earth must make room. When God determines a moment of favor for your life, no force in existence, no authority, no enemy, no past mistake can overturn what has been divinely decreed. You must understand that the authority of God is final. It is not up for discussion. It is not altered by popular opinion. It is not weakened by your unworthiness or strengthened by your good deeds. Favor is not earned, it is extended by God in His perfect wisdom and timing. And when He extends it, the weight of that favor carries more power than 10,000 human efforts combined. You cannot buy it, you cannot fake it, you cannot manufacture it. It is God's sovereign touch on your life, and it changes everything. That is why you must not despise the season of waiting, for it is in the waiting that God is shaping the vessel He plans to favor. Waiting is not punishment, it is preparation. God does not send favor to vessels that are cracked with pride, bloated with ego, or unsealed with integrity. The fire you've walked through was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to forge you. The pain that visited you was not to break you, it was to purify your spirit and burn away every ounce of fear, doubt, and false dependency that would block the fullness of God's favor, because what God is about to release is too precious, too powerful, too purposeful to fall into hands that are not ready to carry the weight of divine responsibility. Favor is a mantle. It comes with influence, it comes with visibility, it comes with spiritual weight. And when God puts it on you, you must walk differently, speak differently, and think differently. The favor of God is not entertainment, it is empowerment. It is a calling to higher accountability, to greater humility, and to deeper surrender. It is not the time to boast, it is the time to bow. Bow your heart in gratitude. Bow your will in submission. Bow your plans under His direction. Because if you truly want to walk in God's favor, you must be willing to walk in His will, even when His will doesn't make sense to your mind. Some of you have been praying, God, open the door, but God is answering you with, I am opening you. Because sometimes the door is not locked, the person is. You cannot walk through a divine door with a divided heart. God will not allow your breakthrough to be sabotaged by internal chaos. So He begins the work within before the work shows up without. He begins by unlocking your vision, purging your heart, strengthening your spirit. Because the moment you are ready within, what you've been asking for without begins to manifest with speed and force. Do you feel it? The shift in the atmosphere? It's not hype, it's holy. That stirring in your soul is not fantasy, it's prophetic. God is preparing to do something in your life that will break cycles, dismantle limitations, and bring honor where there was once humiliation. What once seemed unreachable will suddenly be within your grasp, not because you changed, but because God has decided it is time. And when God says it is time, nothing can delay it. Time must bow to the one who created it. And in that moment, all of the battles you fought will make sense. All the nights you cried will feel like seeds watered by your tears. The confusion, the loneliness, the rejection, it will all become clear. Because favor has a way of explaining what pain could not. It has a way of answering questions you didn't even know how to ask. And when it comes, your spirit will recognize it before your circumstances catch up. You'll feel it before you see it. You'll know deep within, this is God And don't be afraid when the blessing stretches you. Favor rarely feels comfortable at first. It will call you to places you've never walked. It will require strength you didn't know you had. But that's the beauty of it. God will not only favor you, He will fortify you. He will enlarge your capacity to handle what He gives. He will stretch your mind to carry the vision. He will expand your spirit to handle the weight of what is coming. Because the blessing will not crush you, it will carry you. The favor will not drown you, it will lift you. This is not the season to shrink back. This is the season to rise with holy boldness and step into what God has already set in motion. Do not compare your journey to another's. Favor has its own timing. What God is doing for you is unique, tailor-made, and meticulously designed. He knows the exact moment to release it. And when He does, it won't just touch one area. It will affect everything. It will cascade into every crevice of your life. Your family will feel it. Your career will shift. Your mind will stabilize. Your heart will heal. Your environment will elevate. And it will all be done in such a way that those around you will have no words, only wonder. This is not the time to live like you're ordinary. You've been marked by God. That means your steps are ordered. Your trials have purpose. Your obedience is not wasted. You are on the verge of divine manifestation. You are walking toward a moment that has been written in the script of heaven since before you were born. A moment where the heavens open and pour out so much favor that you will be speechless before God, overcome with awe and filled with reverence. Let your posture now be one of faith. Let your thoughts be anchored in truth. Let your actions reflect expectancy. Because when you truly believe God is about to shock you with favor, you prepare differently. You think differently. You respond differently. You don't panic at closed doors. You praise. You don't fear the unknown. You trust. You don't beg for validation. You walk in assurance. Because the same God who whispered the promise is the same God who will perform. And He does not lie. He does not change His mind. He does not forget. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are walking toward one. Every step you take in obedience brings you closer to the unveiling. Every moment of trust moves the heavens. Every word of praise releases power. Do not stop now. Do not settle now. Do not entertain doubt now. Keep your eyes fixed on God. Let every voice that contradicts His truth be silenced by your faith. Because your season is not just changing, your life is being redefined by God's favor. And when it happens, when the wind of God's favor blows across your life, remember to stay low before Him. Humble yourself in the face of glory. Let your heart remain tender, your spirit grateful, your mouth filled with worship. For the same God who lifts can also withhold. Honor the favor by honoring the one who gave it. Protect the blessing by protecting your posture. And know this: if God favored you once, He can favor you again. His storehouses are not empty. His power is not limited. His mercy has no expiration. So lift up your voice and give thanks now. Not for what you see, but for what you know is coming. Praise God for the things you can't explain yet. Celebrate the doors you haven't walked through yet. Worship God not for where you are, but for where He is taking you. Because your faith is the invitation. Your trust is the bridge. Your obedience is the access point, and your heart, anchored in God alone, is the vessel He will use to show the world that when He chooses to favor someone, it is undeniable, unstoppable, and absolutely unforgettable. When the favor of God is released upon your life, it not only lifts you, it transforms everything around you. What once resisted you will begin to cooperate. What once oppressed you will lose its grip. What once stood in the way will fall like walls before the power of God's hand. This is not just personal favor, it is generational favor. The blessing God is about to release will not stop with you. It will overflow into your children, your household, your bloodline. It will correct what the enemy tried to corrupt. It will redeem what was lost in years past. This is not the work of man. This is the divine movement of God, arriving with force, arriving with intention, arriving with justice in His wings. God does not forget the cries of the humble. He does not overlook the prayers that were whispered in desperation, nor the sacrifices made in secret. While others saw your silence as weakness, God saw it as strength. While others questioned your delay, God was strengthening your roots. And now the time has come where roots will yield fruit and the hidden will be revealed. The barren season is being replaced with abundance, not by the plans of people, but by the will of God. Some of you are standing in a place that doesn't match the promise God whispered to you, but listen to this truth. Just because your surroundings look dry doesn't mean the seed has died. The soil of faith often feels lifeless before the harvest breaks through, and the greatest favor flows to those who keep trusting God even when the evidence disappears. Your refusal to quit, your decision to still believe, your quiet determination to stand firm, these are the very acts that heaven honors. And when God honors your faith, He does it with favor so full that it rewrites the outcome of your entire story. Let me speak to the ones who have faced rejection, abandonment, betrayal. Let me talk to the hearts that were wounded by people who should have protected you. What they meant for evil, God is about to turn for your good. The very thing that hurt you is the thing God will use to elevate you. The betrayal that broke your spirit is about to be the platform for your blessing. And when God lifts you, He will do it in such a way that your healing will be public, but your humility will remain intact. Because the favor of God does not inflate, it humbles. It reminds you who sustained you. It reveals who truly stood by you, and it separates those who came for the blessing from those who came for God. Favor has a way of bringing clarity. It reveals what was hidden in people. It exposes what you were too loyal to let go of. But that's why God had to remove some things from your life before the favor came. He couldn't allow your future to be tainted by yesterday's contamination. He couldn't let the wrong people benefit from the blessing they didn't endure, so He cleansed your circle. He broke some ties. He allowed disconnection so that when favor arrives, it arrives pure, unpolluted, and unmistakably from God. Do not be surprised when those who walked away begin to notice the shift. Favor speaks even when you're silent. It glows on you. It radiates from the decisions you make, the peace you carry, the wisdom that flows from your mouth. It speaks in your stillness. It shines through your endurance. You won't have to convince anyone of God's hand on your life. His favor will be the proof. It will follow you like a fragrance. It will trail behind you like a banner. And those who once dismissed you will have no choice but to say, truly, this is the doing of God. And let me be clear, this favor is not cheap. It costs you your comfort. It costs you your control. It costs you your desire to be accepted by everyone. You cannot be favored by God and fit in with everyone. You cannot walk in divine favor and still crave the applause of the crowd. The favor of God will separate you before it elevates you. It will call you to places of solitude. It will require you to walk roads that others fear. But when you walk with God, even the wilderness becomes a pathway to greatness. Even the storms become vehicles for transformation. So let your posture be one of surrender. Let your expectations rise higher. Let your prayers go deeper. Because this is not a season to beg, this is a season to believe. The God who holds galaxies in place, who causes the sun to rise, who controls the tides of the oceans, this same God is working on your behalf. He does not make empty promises. He does not operate in coincidence. Every step of your journey has been calculated. Every detour was part of His blueprint. Every delay was a divine filter to prepare you for the magnitude of what is coming. The favor that's approaching your life will open doors you never knocked on. It will bring answers you didn't know how to phrase. It will gather blessings from places you've never been. And it will place you exactly where God intended you to be. Surrounded by divine order, guarded by divine protection, and moved by divine timing. This is not just a turn in your life, it is a transformation. This is not just breakthrough, it is rebirth. God is doing something you've never seen before, something that your past cannot define and your fears cannot stop. All He asks is that you remain anchored in Him, not in outcomes, not in timelines, not in applause, but in Him. Let your identity be rooted in who God says you are. Let your strength come from knowing that even when everything around you is shaking, the one you trust cannot be moved. You are not behind, you are not forgotten, you are not late, you are right where God wants you. The pressure has been great because the favor will be greater. The tears have been many because the joy will overflow. The silence has been long because the announcement will be loud. And when it comes, when that moment of favor unfolds before your very eyes, you will know deep in your spirit, this was worth every sacrifice. This was worth every sleepless night. This was worth every lonely road. And through it all, God will remain the center, not the blessing, not the platform, not the recognition, but God, the source, the sustainer, the deliverer. For it is not the favor that defines you. It is the one who gave it. Keep your heart aligned with Him. Keep your eyes fixed on Him, because as long as you remain with God, the favor will follow. It will chase you down. It will overtake you. It will manifest in places you didn't even sow. And all of it, every moment, every miracle, every manifestation will declare loudly and clearly, this is the result of surrender to God. This is the reward of trusting the Most High. So now as you stand on the edge of this divine moment, do not shrink back in fear. Rise up in faith. Lift your eyes to the heavens, for your help comes from God, the Creator of all things, the one who never sleeps nor forgets His promises. What you've endured has not been in vain. The fire did not consume you, it refined you. The tears did not drown you, they watered the soil of your breakthrough. The silence was not God's absence, it was the sound of Him working beneath the surface, preparing a favor so great, so specific, so overwhelming, that it will silence every doubt and testify of His power in your life. Let every breath from this day forward be filled with expectation. Walk like someone who knows that favor is near. Speak like someone who understands that the Most High is orchestrating a turnaround. Live like someone who has already been touched by the divine promise, even before it fully unfolds, because when God chooses to favor you, it will be undeniable, it will be unstoppable, and it will be unforgettable. Hold your head high, not in pride, but in holy confidence. The God who splits seas, who sends rain in deserts, who lifts the humble and humbles the proud, is about to do something extraordinary in your life. Be ready, be watchful, be grateful, because God is about to shock you, not with trouble, not with fear, not with confusion, but with favor. Pure, sovereign, overwhelming favor. And when it comes, it will leave no doubt in your heart and in the hearts of those around you that it was and always will be God.